casino downtown now. I don't keep up with these things. Ties to Cincinnati. And remember that runaway slave note that he wrote about LeBron James? And to paraphrase, basically, he came off like he was a spurned plantation owner and his prized Negro got his freedom. And he thought because he treated him right that he was going to stick around, and he left. And so he writes this letter in which he says he doesn't think that LeBron, questions his manhood, question whether he really cares about the region. Just because you own a sports franchise in a particular city doesn't mean you really love that city. Come on now, Dan Gilbert. You got to be better than that. And so when LeBron went back to Cleveland, a lot of folks were like, man, you running back to your slave master. That man disrespected you. But maybe some people can put emotion to the side and look at what's important in the long run. And maybe LeBron did that. It worked. Not only did he win a championship down in Miami, now he's brought a championship to Cleveland. That is deep. That is deep. That was good stuff last night. I really enjoyed it. And I'll be honest with you, had they lost, I would not have enjoyed it as much. It would not have been as much fun. Steph Curry, the little daughter, what's the daughter's name? Keisha, little daughter Keisha. And it just, I don't know. It's just something about that little girl, okay? I got a little girl, so I don't want to really get into it. Don't pull it out on me. But, talking back to grown folks and grown folks spaces, I don't know. It's something about it I don't like, but I won't get into it. Could be sensitive. Tiffany writes, good morning. Not a Cavs fan, but I hope they give Kyrie Irving the props he deserves. Co-MVP in my book. It was a great and historic series. Good morning, Tiffany. And good to see you. Thanks for spending some time with me this morning. Well, yes, it was. Kyrie Irving showed that he is everything that everybody thought he would be or could be, and that is a championship-level point guard. So going into next year, I expect for him to ball out. If you win an NBA championship, your confidence as an NBA player has to go through the roof, especially when you go through a Game 7 on the road. Those are the kind of experiences that really sharpen you. And again, look at this. Just so much of real life is caught up. We just saw played out in front of us in what just happened with the NBA season. Okay, you had LeBron James, who coming into this season, they had to be feeling kind of low on some levels because they got so close last year. You've got Steph Curry, who becomes the 2-time MVP back-to-back, unanimous, first time ever. I always said it should have been LeBron James. Because if you take LeBron James and put him on any team, you can put him on almost any team and they become a threat instantly. You cannot say the same thing about Steph Curry. If you take Steph Curry and put him on the Cavs, okay, and then you take LeBron James and put him on the Warriors become much better than the Cavs do. They become much better. And you can't say that about any other player, or there's few other players in the league you can say that about. LeBron James is one of them. LeBron James is one of them. It's the truth. But that is deep. That is so deep. Good morning, Kashana. I see you. Good morning. Hey, John. He writes, good morning. Dare writes, don't forget to mention before he came back to the Cavs, wasn't a playoff team. First year back in Cleveland, they make to the finals without Love and Kyrie. Now, this year, they win a title. Best player on the planet, period. Exactly. LeBron James leaves Cleveland, they become a lottery team. That's how they got Kyrie Irving. That's how they got Andrew Wiggins. That's how they got the other dude who just didn't really pan out. He made a lot of money. I can see his face, but I don't recall his name. He's out of the league now because LeBron James left. The years that he was in Cleveland, they acquired Kyrie Irving in the draft. They got him high in the draft because they were low in the rankings the year before. When LeBron left, they went to the cellar. When LeBron comes back, just like Daryl said, in 2 years back, they go straight back to the NBA championships. And guess what? There's no reason to say they can't do it again. B writes, I have always respected LeBron James, especially after you came back to the reasons that he came back. However, my opinion of his game has not changed. He's just the bulldozer, no finesse. I don't really enjoy the way he plays. I find Irving's game much more entertaining. Hey, to each their own. I don't think he's necessarily a bulldozer, although he's got those capabilities. LeBron James has a lot of finesse to his game. He really does. How many men do you see at his size who can finish at the rim with either hand, pass with either hand, has that kind of impact? It's amazing. I've seen it. From Ohio, Carolyn writes, morning, Chop Shop. Morning, Carolyn. Good to see you. Ms. D writes, Cleveland is definitely in the house. Hashtag Cavs. What up, Cleveland? What up to you, Cleveland? Said Cleveland in the house, huh?
Cleveland! This is for you! Oh!
Here's an interview with Doris Burke, I believe, and LeBron James right after the game ended.
We'll get in a minute, but he is still crying tears of joy. LeBron.
I'm sorry, Doris.
No worries, Kyrie. LeBron, as soon as that buzzer sounded, your emotions let loose. Can you describe what you're feeling right now?
I set out a goal 2 years when I came back to bring a championship to this city. I gave everything that I had. I poured my heart, my blood, my sweat, my tears to this game, and against all odds, I don't know why we want to take the hardest road. I don't know why the man above gives me the hardest road, but it's nothing the man above don't put you in situations that you can't handle. And I just kept that same positive attitude, like instead of saying why me, they're saying this is what he want me to do. And Cleveland, this is for you. Oh.
LeBron, you did what no other team had been able to do, coming back from a 3-1 deficit in the finals. And to do that, you had to win twice in a place that proved too much for so many teams. What did you find in Game 5 here?
Just locked in. I had to change my approach a little bit on how I approach the game. I wasn't that good in the first 2 games here in this building. I watched a lot of film, detailed it out, changed my blueprint. And we was able to put together some spectacular games after being down 3-1. History, we in the record books. We're the first team ever to come back from a 3-1 deficit. This is special.
We'll see you in a few minutes on the podium.
Yeah, he's right. That is special. First team ever. It wasn't Jordan. It wasn't Shaquille O'Neal. I saw a graphic that says that now there's only 3 other players within the same rail as LeBron James. And guess what? Kobe Bryant is not one of them. Kobe Bryant is not as good as LeBron James. I take a young LeBron James over a young Kobe any day of the week. Any day of the week. If you take Kobe off of those LA championships and put LeBron there, that team would have been a team of dynasty. It would have been a dynastic team, 5, 6 championships. They would have ran the Western Conference. Period. That is big. I know why Doris Burke is the host. That was excellent. The tone of her voice, the questions that she asked, that was top flight right there. Shout out to Doris Burke. And the good folks over at ESPN, they do great work. Although that clip is everywhere. It's everywhere. It's huge. But what will this really mean for Ohio? Will this mean anything to me in Ohio? Here's how I want you to process this. Don't just process this championship from a sports perspective. Ask yourself this. What does this really mean socially? What in real terms? What does that really mean? Does it mean that when I want to go see the Cleveland Cavaliers next year, that I might be paying $5 to $10 more per ticket? Is that what it means? Does it mean that the hot dogs they sell are going to be a little bit more expensive? Because if so, I don't like any of that. I don't like any of that. What does this mean for the people of Cleveland, I think if you live in Ohio, you have some idea of what's going on in Cleveland. It's one of the reasons why there was a little bit of controversy when the Republicans decided to go to Cleveland, because it's like, why would you choose a city like that has so many issues, and then there's really nothing that your candidates are saying that's going to address those issues, and yet you want to come here? And remember, there was some talk about them coming to Cincinnati, which now we got to step up our local game. We need more hotels, and we need more fabulous spaces so that important people, VIPs, can get together. Nathan Ivey, much more to come. I want to talk about everything with you this morning, including all of the latest in terms of some local issues. There's a very prominent author who has decided that he is not coming to his venue. He was supposed to speak at the Cincinnati Hamilton County Public Library. He says, nope, I'm not coming. And I'll tell you why in just a minute. Nathan Ivey, live, local, and vocal, right after this.
5 tacos of cheese and a large soda. That's $10,012. Please drive around.
Wait, 10,000 what?
It's obvious you're buzzed and driving.
I've only had a few. I'm fine.
Yeah, the food's $12, but getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Please drive around. Actually, just park and come in.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Okay, Simon, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. And what do people normally wear?
Clothes.
Exactly. So now Mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Clothes keep us warm, they look good, and if we go out without them, the neighbors will talk. So it's important to know how to get dressed. Here's how it's done. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole, or you have to start all over. If you're wearing a tie, it goes over, round, through, and pull tight. Tuck your shirt into your pants and zip up your fly. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops. The rubber goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears.
I love bunnies.
Good to know. Now remember, spots don't go with stripes, socks don't go with sandals, and if you've tucked in your shirt, wear a belt. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But spending just 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier and could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. For fun 2-minute videos to watch while brushing, visit 2min2x.org. That's 2min2x.org. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
Now back to the show.
So I'm reading that Jim Obergefell, Cincinnati resident, has decided that he's canceling a book tour appearance at the downtown branch of the Public Library of Cincinnati in Hamilton County. What's up? You telling me the downtown branch of the Cincinnati and Hamilton County Public Library isn't good enough for this man, Mr. Jim Obergefell? Well, Mr. Obergefell has a problem. He's got a real problem. He was the lead plaintiff in the U.S. Supreme Court case that overturned same-sex marriage bans nationwide. And let's give some props to Mr. Obergefell. Way to go. Because whether you believe it or not, that man was fighting for civil rights. And even if you are not gay, you have to support the right for the fight for civil rights, wherever it is. Wherever it is. Because when the forces that would curtail people's civil rights have any victories anywhere, okay, it opens the door to other victories in other places. Maybe in your backyard one day. Mr. Jim Obergefell, he canceled a book tour or his appearance, not his book tour, but his appearance as a part of the book tour. And he was supposed to be here, and he said, I ain't coming. And it has everything to do with the fact that the library board voted not to extend transgender-friendly health care benefits to its employees, including a 10-year employee, Rachel Doval, who is seeking benefits that would help her pay for gender transition procedures. Here we go. See, that's one thing about certain communities, whether you want to say the gay community, is that they appear to stick together. They appear to stick together. And if we saw that kind of unity in other communities, right, in other aspects, how much further could we push our community along?